I found my old iPhone 3GS in a drawer last week. I charged it up and it actually turned on. So I did something kinda stupid. I used this thing as my only phone for 12 hours straight. No, seriously, an iPhone 3GS from 2009? Let me show you why it's not completely dead yet. Now, by the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you the one thing, just one thing this phone does better than my iPhone 12, and it's probably not what you think. But we'll get there. First, let's actually look at this relic. It's hard to believe this design is over 17 years old. Instead of glass and metal, you get this glossy, curved plastic back that feels comfortable in the hand. It's compact, lightweight, and slips easily into any pocket. Around the phone, you'll find the classic 3.5mm headphone jack, the old 30-pin connector, physical volume buttons, the mute switch, and the familiar iconic home button. Hear that? That's the sound of 2009. No haptic engine pretending to be a button, just a pure, satisfying mechanical click. So how does the display hold up in 2026? The screen is only 3.5 inches, which honestly feels tiny these days. Next to my daily phone, the bezel is almost as big as an entire iPhone 4. It's chunky, a little heavier than it looks, but that gives it this sturdy, reassuring feel. As for the panel, it's a 3.5-inch TFT LCD. The colors aren't as rich, the blacks look more gray than black, and the viewing angles aren't great either. Tilt it off-center and the image quickly loses contrast and starts to fade. It's not a deal breaker, but it's a reminder of just how much smartphone displays have evolved over the last 17 years. Speaking of software, I've got iOS 6 running on here. Yeah, the last version that officially supported the 3GS. It's clean. The skeuomorphic design, glossy icons, and classic lock screen have a charm that's hard to explain unless you live through it. Even after all these years, navigating the menus feels smooth. Swiping between home screens, opening apps, typing on the keyboard, searching with Spotlight, all surprisingly responsive. There's a simplicity here that makes the phone feel focused instead of distracting. Wait until you see what this thing can still do. Camera time. 3 megapixels? Yeah, but in good lighting, it's actually pretty usable, especially if you're into retro-style shots. The colors come out soft and warm. Here's a sample of those 3 megapixel shots. It looks more like a memory than a photo. Now, what about video? 480p at 30 FPS, and yeah, it's rough. No stabilization, so walking footage looks like found footage horror. Honestly, it looks exactly like an old home video from a family vacation. Impressive in its own way. For everyday basics, the experience is actually better than I expected. Making calls feels exactly like it should. Texting is straightforward, and if your carriers still support compatible networks, those core features hold up fine. And here's something I forgot about. The speakerphone is loud and clear, way clearer than my 10-year-old Android phone. The music player, still my favorite. Plug in some wired headphones, remember those? Load up some local MP3s, and it just plays. No subscriptions, no streaming drama, no battery drain. Battery life on this old cell is still decent for light use. I'm getting a solid few hours of screen time. This next part genuinely surprised me. Remember that broken App Store error? If you try to open it normally, it just throws a connection failure. But thanks to the legacy Jailbreak community, if you add a few custom certificates and repos through Cydia, you can still run some native apps on this thing. In my case, I installed a few classics, Flappy Bird, Angry Birds, Geometry Dash. They run surprisingly well and make the phone feel like a little portable retro gaming device. Even crazier, I managed to get the original YouTube app working again with a few tweaks. Watching videos through that classic interface brought back memories I hadn't thought about in years. No ads either. That's insane, right? So the one thing this phone does better than my iPhone 12, it's not the camera and it's not the games. It's how enjoyable the whole experience still feels. Using this simple phone is a refreshing reminder that not every device has to do everything. Plus, zero distractions, no infinite scroll, and no notifications. The iPhone 3GS is absolutely not worth using as your only phone, but it's still worth having. It's fun, it's tough, and it reminds you how simple tech used to be. Whether you're after a collectible, a distraction-free music player, a retro gaming device, or just want to relive one of Apple's most iconic phones, the 3GS still has something special to offer. If you can find one cheap, grab it. You might be surprised how much you actually use it. If you enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more vintage Apple content, and let me know in the comments, would you still use an iPhone 3GS in 2026? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.